So, let's have a look at some incidents from the Scottish Cup on Saturday at Glasgow Green on the 11th of June. The purpose of this isn't to come to a decision after the event or anything like that. It's to try and demonstrate what the referees are up against. And I think the first point is that every decision is subjective. Every one of us has got a split-second view of it and comes to a different opinion about it. And we're going to demonstrate that to you over the next couple of minutes. The first one is very simple. It's Glasgow Life, and it's Frank McCann of Glasgow Life. Coincidentally, he thinks he's the Willie Miller of walking football, but that's got nothing to do with what we're going to do here. Watch this wee clip and see if you think there's a penalty.
You saving the warm-up?
Frank McCann's at the back there for Glasgow.
The warm-up till we start.
It's a pass back. So we saw that at full speed there. A penalty kick is given. A penalty kick is given against Glasgow, and Frank went across the penalty box. I think that's pretty clear cut for anybody that's watching that. Let's watch it again and run it on a wee bit and see Frank's reaction to it, because that's what the first point I want to make about walking football competitively.
You saving the warm-up?
It's a pass back. Frank tries to chaperone it back to the goalie, and he cuts across the corner of the box there and blocks the shot. Now, I don't think there's any argument about that. Well, let's see what Frank thinks about it. That's Frank on the edge of the box pointing to the referee.
I never saw it.
Now we're going to see it in slow motion, and it will show us definitively what happened. The ball's just coming across the box. The ball's outside the box. Frank's cut across the corner, taking a shortcut in order to block the shot. Stonewall penalty kick. Now, the thing I want to demonstrate about Frank's attitude there is that we've all got a responsibility for our behaviour at walking football. The Scottish Cup on Saturday was an exhibition of walking football. The first time we had girls there, ladies there. The first time we had Parkinson's there. We had a festival. My grandson was there for a while. There were children all over the place, and people, you don't even know who's there because it's a public space. And yet some of the language and behaviour of the teams was unacceptable in my view, occasionally. And that's a good example of it there, shouting and swearing. Let's move on a wee bit here to see how your attitude, the team's attitude, might affect the refereeing decisions. Here's a simple penalty, and we all know the two-step rule for a penalty. And this is Bobby McCrory of Pollock about to take his penalty kick. Let's see how he gets on. Legal or illegal? Now you can hear the referee's rationale there, that the stop has got to be part of the run-up. Given that there's only two steps, there's no run-up. And what I think the referee's making the point is that the step that he took wasn't part of his run-up to the ball. Now watch what happens here. Because everybody's arguing, everybody's discussing what's just happened, the referee's still having to justify it. He's made his decision. I've never seen a referee change their decision yet. And this guy misses his penalty. Does anybody think he might have been slightly distracted and put off by still thinking about the argument that's going on? I certainly do. So that's how players can be influenced. The attitude on the bench, the attitude of the subs, and there's a yellow card for the goalkeeper, which at the moment I don't think has any implications for him. But if I've got my way, then the yellow cards will tot up over a league and over a cup and result in monetary fines if that's what it takes to try and cut out some of the back chat. Okay, let's look on to another game. Who's playing here, Chris?
This is the final between Townhead Strollers and Alloa.
Excellent. So the referee, we'll get two camera angles here, which makes it very interesting. The referee's about to give a penalty. Let's see what you make of it. Now, probably you'll agree with me, even from this distance with the close-up, it's a foul. The debate is whether it's inside the yellow zone or not, the third zone of the park. I think the first thing to realise that the referee, very central, he's up with play, there's no question of that, but still, if you look at the players between him and the ball, his view is definitely obstructed to some degree. So he's making the best decision that he can make with the information that he's got.
And I think impossible for us to tell from this angle.
From this angle. So, it'd be interesting to hear what people think of that, but we've got a better angle, because I happen to be filming it from the other side.
He's offside. He's off the bar.
But here's the point I was making about the touchline, the subs and the management. To me, this is unacceptable. On the park, unacceptable. Shouting at a referee from distance. Swearing in the side of the park. To me, that is sanctions right away, but that's for Walking Football Scotland to decide. Now let's have a look at the same incident from the other side of the park. Here's the free kick, the foul coming. Strollers with the ball. Pass out wide. Bang. Nobody can dispute there's a free kick there. His foot's on top of the other guy's foot. He's a wee bit late getting there. The ball's a yard away. Now look at the line that Chris has put on the video for us between his right foot and his left foot. And if we move on, we can...
to explain that his left foot is going to leave a mark.
Yes, as he drags it across the surface of the park. And we move on from there. So there's the mark, where his left foot to his right foot, where the contact was at the end of that line, at the left-hand side of that line. Penalty kick given. No question for me that it's inside the area, but let's see how the players respond to it.
The blue line is fucking up here!
The language?
Inside the blue line.
Inside the blue line, he's saying. He thinks the blue line is the mark. There's so much going on here that A, the players should know the rules, and B, they're not going to change the referee's mind. There's Matt Ramsey on explaining to him where it took place, because he was standing right next to it as well. But still, it was unacceptable to the players, and the touchline and their behaviour thereafter, to me, was unacceptable. This isn't to pick on certain teams or certain players. I know the only thing we can do here is highlight certain incidents, and it's not to have a go at those teams. This is a general thing that was happening on all the pitches, and it's something that we all need to address, in my opinion, especially the touchline behaviour, because we're representing walking football, and some people would be discouraged from coming along to have a game of walking football if they have to witness that.
Referees might decide that they don't need abuse.
Yeah, because a lot of the times they're doing us a favour.
The point is, they've seen what they want to see.
The players, yes. Yeah, and the referee's not going to change his mind. Now, the next point, Chris, that you made to me, how does that influence the referee?
Absolutely.
Now, I'm a referee, and referees will deny it all day long. They'll say that they're 100% impartial from start to finish.
Bollocks.
That's the official line. But I know if somebody calls me whatever on the park, or threatens me coming up to my face
and
or whatever,
50-50.
and then there's an instant thereafter, the chances of him getting the decision are slimmer.
Exactly.
Yeah?
Exactly.
A 50-50, he ain't getting it. Right. That's just human nature, and to deny that would be stupid, and to deny that some idiot shouting at you from the touchline doesn't influence you is rubbish. It does.
This shouting and bawling, that actually could cost them the game.
Well, yeah, I think you've got some examples of that where...
Well, here's another one, which is another 50-50, but I think the referee got it right again.
Yep. That's a foul. Saved by the keeper.
That's just to prove it's a foul.
Yeah.
But we've gone through this, haven't we?
Yeah.
Frame by frame, and we've checked it. No,
And
not
it is.
really, but we've checked it against the marks in the park.
Yes.
And in our opinion,
Turn there, Peter Sexton. Give him a second penalty. So if he's not
after
going
just-
he's fallen 20 times,
Just outside.
that should
And
be a
it's where
penalty.
he dropped the ball that it took place.
Yeah.
It's now
the
rolled
ball's
forward a
rolled
yard.
and the ball's probably inside,
Yeah.
but that's not where the foul's committed.
Oh, run it.
It's at least, I would say, 2 feet behind that.
So this is not defending referees. They get it wrong many times, and I'm the
No, but I
first to
think they should be
criticise it.
supported as well.
Yeah, yeah. And the main thing is he's doing his best, and
Absolutely.
the referees
You can only call it
actually
to
don't
see.
care who wins. That's a mistake people make, is think that they're against them or whatever. It's the language to the referee does you no favours at all, because he's going to referee the game to the best of his ability, and it is
And he's
it's
never gonna change his
subjective.
mind.
It's subjective.
So, number one, he's never going to change his mind.
Mm-hmm.
So, why bother? Because all you're doing,
It's
you
antagonising.
can lose your you can lose your team in the game,
Yeah, you lose your concentration. Your teammates lose their concentration.
and the referee's on the other
And the
team's side
referee is
from
going
then
to
on.
give you nothing thereafter, as they say. Another wee point here, Chris, is that when you're shouting from the touchline and getting involved in the game from the touchline, you undermine your team's tactics, your team's play, your team's attitude. Everything has to be positive on the park, and all that's doing from the touchline is distracting the team.